Wargs got their 5 locked in. The Mambo are happy with their draft. Spooky, let's get into game number 1 here. Niflheim Wargs and the Hex Mambo, the Smite Challenger Circuit in Europe. Kicking off a day of Smite here on this beautiful Sunday morning. As Kha'Zix is backing him up with that Khepri ultimate.
Yeah, they have a ton of safety. Finally, some action.
Oh, Prince gets yanked in. Wild Hunt comes out. A cleanse as well. The Sunny Swords are going to take down the support there, but Johnny's going to pick up first blood for Hex Mambo, and just a clean rotation there. And
I mean, what Duck or the Solar Flare, the Root, it's not going to keep him alive on a 3-man rotation.
Kha'Zix looking at Davey here. No ultimate online. Wow, connecting with the Brutalize. Doesn't even need the Ragnarok ultimate there. That third ability from Fenrir shredding through the Hunter. And it turns out that Davey blowing the ultimate on that shield bot by the Fenrir later.
Look at the stats of this game right now. It's only 2 kills on board, but Gunter in some trouble.
Oh, Brutalize once again just shredding through the health bar of the Morgan Le Fay. Over the wall, Hawk finds little home sweet home action there on the Baba Yaga, and finally someone other than the Hunter and the Jungler are on the board. It's a pretty even split here. 1 for the jungle, 1 for the mid, 1 for the ADC for the Hex Mambo. Spreading the love here with the kill column. Johnny invading this purple buff. It's Preds and Davey versus 3. Oh, Habwa here making the rotation. It's Rapio. Big crushing wave opportunity here. Shredding through Johnny is the jungler for the Niflheim Wargs. The Swords of Retribution already used here. Spudio knocked up. A little bit of movement speed here from Preds, and Kana making the rotation from the solo lane. Rapio finds a second, and the Niflheim Wargs answer back.
Excellent response from the Wargs here. Not enough to bring the game up to an even state. It is still the Mambo leading after that one.
On this hyper-aggressive Fenrir. Does that kind of... hold that thought for just a second. I want to come back to it. I think it's important. Preds locked down here by Kha'Zix. A pull in. No cleanse available. Preds locked down by the Wild Hunt. Here comes the rest of the Niflheim Wargs, though. Crushing waves comes through. Oh, Hawk revived by that Scare's Blessing. Johnny finds Davey in the back line, and a well-timed Khepri ultimate. It's going to keep the mid laner alive for only a little bit longer as Kana made the rotation from solo. Takes out the mid laner. Johnny might be in a spot of trouble here. Shots coming out from Spudio. Aegis a little bit early. Kana with the displacement, pushing back the ADC of the Hex Mambo. But here comes Julio. Healthy, ultimate not online for the solo laner. Spudio finds Gunter. Down goes another member of the Wargs. Preds looking rather tasty here. Julio eats, leaves no crumbs. Kana going down. Spudio with the double. And it's opened up the map wide for the Hex Mambo. Looks like it could be a tier 2, but why? You can go just Fire Giant.
Yeah, that is a full deicide from Mambo. That's exactly what I was talking about there, Dimes. Mambo are the ones who start that fight off, and it doesn't go super well at the start, right? Wargs answer back pretty cleanly. Rapio finds a huge crushing wave. Great for them. But then they keep pushing it. They keep going a little bit further. Julio makes the rotation. Wargs don't have the team composition.
Looping around at the back line. Keep your eyes on Julio and Johnny. Looking to shove out the back line and the front line. Pretty much everyone from the Niflheim Wargs as Julio is face tanking the entirety of the team. Here comes Johnny leaping in. Ragnarok grabbing that priority target, and Preds, who just falls without any kind of whimper from the Niflheim Wargs. Kana locked down as well. The shred is here for Hex Mambo. They can just choose their target. Rapio forced to use that crushing wave defensively. Kana surviving with a sliver of HP. It's going to be a tier 2 tower. It's going to be a left side Phoenix, and it's going to be Hex Mambo with the pedal to the metal.
The timer on this game really is the silver lining for the Wargs. Just like you said, it's 23 minutes. It's not the enhanced Fire Giant. Oh, no. Gunter may not be wanting to be here. Ultimate for ultimate, but ultimately Gunter will fall, and that opens up the Oni Fury. Who needs an Oni Fury, Dimes? Yeah. It's just straight to the Phoenix for Hex Mambo.
The Johnny auto attacks. Anyone on the Niflheim Wargs is subject to being poked down and put in the ground here by Hex Mambo. Lockdown from Kha'Zix. Gunter dropping solo. Julio chasing him down there with the cavalry charge, is able to find the mid laner, but Gunter goes down to the likes of Johnny, diving the backline with a great wraparound. Ragnarok gonna grab Kana, get him out of the fight, but it's just a distraction, allowing the rest of Hex Mambo to dump their kits into this Titan. Still 4 members of the Niflheim Wargs alive here. Davey rushing back to Fountain, getting a little bit of a heal there. Hex Mambo not even paying attention to the Niflheim Wargs. Full focus on the Titan, and it goes down for a game number 1 victory for the Mambo. Game number 3 here as we head into game number 2, Niflheim Wargs and the Hex Mambo. And something else I want to point out here, the Hercules unbanned. and Kana going when we start talking about Kana and Julio in earnest. But I think whoever grabs pressure in this lane is certainly going to make an impact on this middle lane. Speaking of making an impact here, Rapio locked down behind that Thor wall, beads forced, and Johnny with the finishing touches on the first kill of this game. Pre-2 minutes already, quite a departure from game number 1.
On just the one kill, hovering around the 1,000 mark. It's not severe, but we saw this in game number 1. We saw this 400 gold lead, and it just kept building up. And now a dash down, Johnny's here.
Oh, there's no way Kana makes it out of this one. Johnny holding the wall, waiting to see how Kana's going to respond. Oh, I love this positioning from Johnny. Just such smart play here. But Kana, like you said, does damage. A couple of shots out there from Julio and Johnny. Johnny takes his fair share of poke, but able to put Kana in the ground there. And
he's putting it towards this solo lane, trying to make sure he cannot simply rotate across the map, because Horus is one of those solo laners that if you leave him alone, oh my goodness. Woo! Johnny just goes away. I honestly thought he was out of there.
A little bit too big for his britches there. Johnny maybe feeling himself with that 2-0 start. Steps forward a little bit too aggressively.
You got Doom Orbs, you got some pen, but you don't have the damage for all of that. Small skirmish over the shield buff, maybe what Rapio's looking for.
Wrap around on the backhand side, but Johnny's doing the exact same thing. It's a 3v3. Do they know he's here? Anvil of Dawn up in the air. Who's going to be the target? Is it going to be the Habwa off the mark there? Good wall, stops the retreat from Rapio. Knock up onto Johnny. Rapio falling low here. Kha'Zix using that Terra ultimate, giving his team a little bit of extra stats here. Rapio dashing in aggressively, but a great wild hunt for the transformation. The beats come up big for Rapio, able to take out Kha'Zix. Johnny answering back. So jungler for support. Kha'Zix is screaming worth there. Mid laners have made their rotations, but it's going to be a disengage from both these squads. And that's certainly a win coming up big for Hex Mambo.
Yeah, Mambo got what they really needed out of that one. Hawk's not done yet. He's going to put a lot of damage into Davey. Davey will get out of that one. Hawk takes some damage back. Stab? Does he die? No, he should be okay.
Take damage!
He does take!
Gunner got him!
Guys, oh my goodness!
Okay, now I take it back. Spooky, the Hex Mambo do not come out themselves a very slight gold lead to the tune of about 100 gold. But it is a lead nonetheless. Or for the last 35 or 40 minutes of Smite, they've been behind as Kha'Zix is dropping low to the combination of Preds and Gunta. Yu Hong does damage. Surprise, surprise. Rapio falling low, locked in from the Thor wall. A knock-up. Not going to find it quite yet. Hawk with the auto attack over the wall. Rapio looking for the final touches on Hawk there is not going to find them. That could have gone either way. But the jungler for the Niflheim Wargs falls. Johnny low. Preds dishing out damage. Gunter over the wall. Lockdown. Preds finds the final shot, and it's going to be jungle for jungle.
Man, it's just not looking clean from Mambo. They had the ability to win that fight because Gunter started that fight.
That with Gunter leading the charge here, a little over 8K. Speaking of leading the charge, Spudio dropping low, forcing the Aegis, and the entire team of the Niflheim Wargs is laying into the ADC, who's still alive somehow with the help of that Terra. Rapio finishing off the ADC, who's going to be in the grayscale for 30 seconds. The solo laners have made their rotations over to this Gold Fury pit. It's going to be a 4v5. Can the Hex Mambo stall out this Gold Fury long enough for Spudio to rejoin them?
They should be able to stall this out, but I don't think Wargs are going to let them.
Oh, what a great dueling dragons there, connecting with 2 members of the Hex Mambo, allowing the Niflheim Wargs to follow up with the damage. And now as a 5-man squad here, the Niflheim Wargs are just waiting for Julio to come back through those dimensions. And finally, we're seeing this Heimdall pay dividends now as the CC lockdown is good enough to take out the solo laner for the Mambo. The Niflheim Wargs are going to snag themselves a Gold Fury. Start again once in earnest. Johnny is back though, full HP, Anvil of Dawn online. Niflheim Wargs starting up the Pyromancer, but shoving forward as Hex Mambo aggressively kicking things off, diving onto Gunter, knowing he is the win condition for the Wargs here. Diving in the back line is Johnny. Down goes Julio to the shots of Davey on the Heimdall. Kha'Zix forced out as well. Kana in the back line here, hunting down Hawk and Spudio. Good lockdown from the Bramble Blast. And Rapio finding Kha'Zix as a sacrifice. Johnny turning it right back around on the Habwa, who still had Crushing Wave online. Gunter looking rather low as well. It's going to be a wash here for both these squads, a 2-for-1 in favor of the Wargs. But Johnny not letting up on Gunter, who's...
Johnny?
Oof.
Not sure what the play was on that one. Hex Mambo did get the Pyromancer during that, but what? All right. You know how I said so many things are the same, but
A couple heals coming out from the Guan Yu. Hawk has rejoined the fray, so those bombs will be raining down the side of the Agni. Preds starting up the Primal Fury. Those dominance, penetration, powerful autos from Davey shredding through Julio, diving in, Anvil of Dawn up in the air, smashing down onto 3 members who immune pretty much all of the damage there with some great Aegis. Gunter so low, and the mid laner drops, but Davey returns 2. Finds Preds over the top. Spudio takes out Rapio in return. It's a 2 for 3. And Hex Mambo is not done, but they are so low, and Kana and Davey wailing away. Kana taking out the mid laner, Spudio trading out Davey, and now it's Kana versus 2 low health members locked down by the Terra. The duo lane of Hex Mambo finds the decided triple for Spudio, comes up big for Mambo, and a tier 2 tower in the eyes of the Chaos Squad.
So it turns out he didn't make me a believer in the Griffin Wings.
I don't know, man.
Initial impression, not changed.
The problem is, Spooky, Smite 101. If you go get the Primal Fury, the other team just gets the SFG for free.
Yeah, right now, Fire Giant is essentially the only objective on the map. And it's going to be started up, and it's getting shredded, but Kana's already dead.
Oh, Kana is down from the bombs of Hawk and Julio charging forward with that cavalry charge.
My.
But so much faster than the rest of his squad, who's going to linger behind to grab this Fire Giant. And the Wargs just with their front liner and Kana down. That's the issue with this Preds pick on the Hell, is just there's no front line. Back and forth between those stances expertly. Surprised Hawk hasn't made a little bit of weight here with those bombs spreading forward. Preds locked down, but Spudio with full attention on the Phoenix, not pushing forward into Preds. Kana shoving forward back from the Grayscale. Johnny up in the air. Rapio finds one. Julio, Kana, and Preds locked down by the wall. Johnny offline with the hammer there. Down is Gunter, waiting the backline, free casting over the wall. Johnny finds Rapio. Meanwhile, Hawk shoving forward. Gunter once again over the wall. Perfect with this Yu Huang. Hawks maybe a little bit out of position here. Auto attacks connecting from Davey. Kana shoving forward. Gunter not in time. Hawk able to dash away.
In the skies.
Oh, in the skies. In the back line is Kana and Gunter. Hawk between a rock and a hard place there chooses the ADC. And Davey picks up a 5th kill for himself. So the middle lane bird does fall for the side of
on
Hex
this
Mambo.
tier 2. They have to make sure they're not caught out on their way in, though. Donnie has to be a little more careful.
Oh, Dueling Dragons connects with priority members of Hex Mambo here. Spuddy immediately forced out of the fight. Someone from Hex Mambo sitting in the air. Who's going to smash back down? Julio, Dash, Rapio. That's a dead Guan Yu. That's a dead tier 2 tower. Niflheim Wargs could be looking for a little bit more.
Playing that corner if you're the Warriors. You have to stop stepping up to where Hawk has been 2 times. This may be the go button finally.
Gunta locking it down here. Anvil of Dawn comes in from Johnny. Davey is going to fall on the ground, but trades it right back onto Julio. Kana falling low as well. Oh, Hawk able to escape. That is absolutely giant for Hex Mambo to keep their middle lane bird alive. A 1 for shield online, gets some movement speed from the Caduceus Club, and it's so obnoxious to deal with because you rain down all these bombs, and then absolutely nothing comes of it because of the healing. Julio seeing an opportunity to go in here. Kana once again locked down. Dueling Dragons not as effective in this fight. Davey, I mean, just ripped down there by Hawk in the backline. The Wild Hunt catches 2. Kana's the target. Up into the air. Johnny looking for the backline. Spudio finds Kana in the meantime, smashing down a good wall. It's going to lock down Preds, who escapes using those heals, the movement speed, the shield. Hawk over the wall.
Oh, Rapio!
Rapio, wave caught by the wall. Big time plays there for Johnny, coming up big for Hex Mambo, who's on top in this team fight.
No way!
Dead Mambo. Julio's got the cavalry charge back online. Shoving forward. Gunter is in the ground for at least
There's a tier 2!
A minute. And tier 2 online, who cares about a tier 2? Spooky, it's going to be the middle lane Phoenix. It's going to be Hex Mambo finding a 3-man swing for nothing, for Goose Egg for the Niflheim Wargs. And all of a sudden, the Wargs flipped upside down. The tables have completely turned here, Spooky. This middle lane Phoenix is going to fall, and it's Davey and Preds against the world here. Hex Mambo shoving forward. Johnny Anvil back online. Hawk with the bombs as well, pushing forward into the throne room. It's the duo lane of the Niflheim Wargs for the next 30 seconds. Hex Mambo throwing damage into the Titan. A Fire Giant fight, Spooky. A botched Niflheim Wargs lead, and the Hex Mambo take a 2-0 over the Niflheim Wargs. Woo!
What?